I really want to start this off with something clever about Twice, about their careers, about this song and album, but Twice, even after 7 years, somehow always managed to leave me speechless. By this point, it isn't even about the music. I mean, it is, obviously, but it also isn't. It's about them, their confidence, their dedication to everything that makes Twice, Twice. This was obviously a huge comeback for them, what with it being their first after all 9 of them decided to resign even after facing so many hardships in their careers that they should have never had to deal with in the first place. And I don't know if it's that, or this album as a whole, or just a mixture of both that is making me so emotional over this, but there's just something so familiar here, so Twice, that I can't help but get a little emotional about where these girls have come over these past 7 years. Their love for music and Twice is just so pure and so wonderful to see displayed over and over and over again. And I know I'm getting sappy. I wasn't expecting it to hit me this hard either, but something about seeing all 9 of them give it their all like this was written in the stars this whole time is getting to me. So buckle your seatbelts, travelers, because this one's going to be a bit of a train wreck. Talk That Talk is the perfect example of balance. The 80s inspiration is there enough so to be seen, but not so much that it becomes the main tune of the song. There's a perfect match in vocals between the members, using Nayeon's and Jihyo's higher intensity to offset Sana's and Chewy's easier voices. The verses flow in and out perfectly, with just enough tempo to drop into a softened pre-chorus, but also leap into a really fun and full chorus. Everything builds up to just the right intensity before falling into a resolution that it keeps the song interesting for the entire run. It's foreshadowing at its finest, and it's the song's best quality. There's no surprises or awkward twists hidden in the tracks. It's jumpscare free, Leah approved. This song sets out to tell a tale on a set track, and it refuses to diverge from this track, sticking to its wits and what it already knows is right, refusing to take a chance on a possibility. I know a lot of us are tired of retro already, but honestly, I found this concept so refreshing. It was a little silly in the way Twice has been known to be, and the 80s animation graphics were such a fitting choice. I love the sort of Charlie's Angels vibes as well. It had a very Twice-like twist on it, and seeing the girls in their really fancy dresses with their holsters and little weapons acting all cute and badass was such a sight, and I'm so glad we got it here. Honestly, I think this is my favorite Twice music video in a long while. Much like the song, it felt very balanced. There was always a lot going on, but it never felt like too much. Overall, I just think this is one of their best produced music videos in a long time. Talk That Talk was meant to be a statement. It wasn't something new to music or K-pop, but it was Twice sticking their flag down once more and saying, "We are here to stay." They genuinely seem so excited to perform together, and I really hope they will keep that same excitement for years to come. Twice have always had something special about them. There's just something about Twice's music that feels so much like them, like Twice. And that same spark is still here, burning brighter than it ever has before. Here's to at least 3 more years of Twice and their amazing accomplishments. It was only a matter of time before Twice also jumped into the pop-punk trend, and this was exactly the kind of song I expected them to do it on. Besides a select few here and there, most of the punk-pop inspired K-pop songs tend to fall more on the pop side. Songs like these especially remind me of early 5 Seconds of Summer, or even some of Paramore's more mainstream songs. And I love it. For as much as I love songs that take what made pop-punk such an interesting genre to begin with and infuse it within their music, songs like these that are just a simple and fun time will always have a special place in my heart. Queen of Hearts is a very unapologetic song. The sonnet melodies are placed everywhere throughout this track, and unlike the title of this album, there are many unpredictable placements of notes and melodies alike. The chorus is full of raw emotion in the way songs like these are supposed to be. It's messy and open, allowing for the song to truly seep in and touch the listener where it hurts. It's the type of song you feel in your chest, beating the heavy melody into your soul over and over again until that is the only heartbeat you can feel. The bridge just brings this song to a whole new level though. It grows and grows with every line until the chorus is suddenly hitting with twice the heaviness that it had before. Also, the vocals. These girls really gave their all in this one, and it came out amazing. There's so much emotion in every verse of this song, and every single one of them displayed that beautifully in their voices. It really elevates the song to a whole new level. Queen of Hearts is a song that sings of a love so pure and powerful that nothing can stop those who share it. Summer is not over yet, and Twice aren't ready to give it up either. With a fluttering and magical feeling infiltrating the chorus of this song, it's perfect for summer days where whatever fantasy awaits you in your daydream is 100 times more interesting than the one happening in the blistering heat outside. This song is cool and fresh, and is a much needed breath of fresh air in this already high intensity album. One thing about Twice though is even their pockets of air are always interesting to hear. Twice has mastered the art of pop albums over the years, and by this point, they're really just showing off. Basics takes its title to heart, and manages to stick to the basics. With a catchy production complemented by the soft, magical feeling that the song has going for it, this song manages to cast this soft, fuzzy film over it. It feels like a dream. This song slowly puts you to sleep, enchanting you with beautiful harmonies and a promise of a wonderful fantasy. It's repetitive by nature, easing you in with this easy sense of amicable presence. The thing that makes Basics so good, though, is that it really is all that it is. There's no, ha, I got you moment at any point in time. It's just simple, lighthearted song to listen to on a hot summer day. A breath of fresh air as well as a cool breeze to make you comfortable in your own daydreams. Baby, we're in trouble. Halfway there, and finally, Trouble introduces us to a bit of a twist. It takes the smallest little nibble off of Talk That Talk's 80s aesthetics and throws us right back into the pseudo 80s futuristic type of music once more. It brings a darker feel to this album, like the rise to the climax of a story. Trouble introduces us to this rather bold sound. It's a type of song that would play in the montage of some action movie, where the main cast is drilling through all these little gremlins and goblins on their way to finally fight the final boss. It takes the fundamentals of pop music and amplifies them to a 10, turning the song into by far the most radio-ready track on this album so far. Looking at it from a purely productional standpoint, it's definitely the most fleshed out track, but it's also the most safe. The emotional interference that Queen of Hearts had, as well as the easy, magical feel Basics had, is missing in this track. I wouldn't say it feels overproduced in any way, just very safe and maybe a bit dulled, unlike some of the more adventurous songs on the rest of this album. It feels very similar to something that would have played on their Fancy or Feel Special albums, with these early 2010s inspired sounds and very bouncy clubhouse beats, and on either of those albums I think it would have at the very least fit in a little bit better. If I know myself at all, I know that I'll end up having this song stuck in my head anyways, even well after I'm done with this review, but for now, I have to say this song sticks out as overly safe and just an easy way to fill space. There's nothing wrong with that per se, but after the 3 tracks before it, it does feel a bit stuck in the middle here with nowhere to go. Brave, once again, takes its title very seriously. It paints in dark reds and bold purples, with hints of soft pinks and baby blues around the edges slowly sleeping in. Its strength is, once more, in its balance, the perfect mix between a more lighthearted feel and a heavier image. It's the type of song that makes you feel as if you are 10 feet tall, as if you're on top of the world, staring down below. Brave takes the early 2010s pop aesthetics to a new level, adding nostalgic touches here and there in every verse. The song's attention to detail is what brings it to life. A little guitar here, a more prominent synth here, flickering scales lighting up the measures and dazzling pinks and blues. It's the type of song that makes you feel powerful while doing the most mundane things. This song's touch is light, but powerful, like a strong breeze whistling through the night. The girls sound amazing in this song as well. Soft but confident vocals lace the song with an extra layer of stability, singing in soft but intentional lullaby in every verse, gearing its listener up for whatever tasks may face them next. It's a very beautiful song, simple and easy on the ears, but still beautiful and bold in statement nevertheless.
I see the lies on the tip of your tongue.
Gone takes us down the same path as Brave did, but with the slightest little detour. It's lightweight, singing pleasantries into the verses, diverting your attention from the path it is slowly running away from, before running full force in the opposite direction, before you even realize it. Everything about this song was meant to be tricky. The soft beginning, the easy melodies, the calm exterior. But the chorus is obviously meant to be a heavy detour of sorts. It's trying to throw you into the state of disarray when it hits, even if only for a split second. So I just don't understand why they didn't follow through with it. The first chorus, while not quite predictable, wasn't as jarring as I was expecting, or maybe hoping for it to be. And from that point on, the song just feels almost as if it's falling off, as if it's running out of speed. The path we divulged on was narrow and crowded, and far too short to really be enjoyed. After the first chorus started, I just kept on waiting for another, heavier drop. For the second chorus to be even louder, or for the bridge to have a much-needed flair for the finale of the song, but it just never happened. I know they too realized it was missing as well, because they doubled up on the ad-libs and intensity of the vocals in the final quarter, but without a pickup in the instrumental, it still just felt a bit weak. I still like the overall soundscape in the song, I just feel as if the exploration of it wasted its potential in some places. When We Were Kids takes all of the nostalgia written into the previous tracks and amplifies it by 10, producing this overly emotional song that tugs at your heartstrings and fills your chest with such a warm feeling that is nearly impossible to describe in words. I love songs like these. Songs that fill you with such a soft and loving presence that you can't help but feel the melody all over. This song draws on more of that 2010s pop that has influenced a lot of Twice's music for years now, and it only adds to that feeling of sweet, sweet nostalgia. With a title like When We Were Kids, it's impossible not to think of your younger self. How naive and innocent we used to be, worried about the things that don't even matter anymore, and dreaming of the perfect world that we were going to create when we grew up. It's hard not to love the idealistic views that kids think of, and this song is trying to teach us that it's just fine. Sometimes just because an idea isn't plausible doesn't mean it's a bad idea, and I think it's really important that we put down our pessimistic views and stop treating optimistic and impossible as near synonyms. It's okay to love the child inside you, the child that the song sings to. And that's the end of my review. This might not have been Twice's best album ever, but I don't think it's bad by any means at all. It holds so much emotion in it that I can't help but love every moment. This is the Twice that I know and love, and I'm so happy to see them happily performing with each other. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, I really hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you next time, travelers.